Jack, it's been an eagerly awaited return to the Premiership for Bristol, but I'd imagine there's a fair bit of frustration in that dressing room at the moment with certainly how things went in the first half.
Yeah, obviously not the result we wanted, not the start we wanted at home especially. But again, we've got to learn. Northampton are a very well drilled side. We knew they were going to come here. They've got all their top players out. We knew what they were going to bring. We just didn't match that in the first half. And I think second half, I think it took us that first half to then have a word at half time to then come out in the second half and actually show a bit of spirit. So as long as we can do that for the 80 minutes, I know that we're capable of a lot this season. But like I said, the start wasn't good enough. We played a lot of rugby in our own half when we shouldn't have done, and they built pressure on us. And in this league, you can't afford to do that.
Is that the message amongst the boys at the moment then? It's a little bit of a learning curve, I suppose, about how to manage the game slightly differently in the Premiership and how the pace is perhaps a little bit different to Championship rugby?
Yeah, I think obviously, it's week 2, we know the pace. We played against, obviously, Quins last week. But I think, it's taken a half, like I say, for us to really get our head switched on and come out second half fine. I thought we played a lot better rugby in the second half. Territory-wise, we were better. Possession-wise, we were better. But I think, like I said, it's an 80-minute game at the end of the day, and in this league you cannot afford to slip off even for 5-10 minutes because a side like Northampton will come out and punish you, and that's exactly what happened in that first half.
And I say it's been an eagerly anticipated return. It's also been quite a long wait to not be playing in half a building site with all the work that's been going on at Ashton Gate. It's finally finished, and what was it like to play in that with a bit of a bumper crowd, certainly compared with the attendances you were getting last year in front of the Ashton Gate fans?
Yeah, Bristol fans are unbelievable, home and away, and obviously Ashton Gate Stadium now is absolutely phenomenal. What Bristol Sport have done here is absolutely exceptional. But at the end of the day, our job as players is to get people in there, get the fans going, get the fans on our side. And I think we're a little bit slow today, and I think it's important that we try and build that fortress mentality here, and especially give back to the fans that have been so loyal to us over the years. And like I said, it's an eagerly anticipated return to the Premiership and Premiership rugby Ashton Gate. So it's like I said, we've got to learn lessons from today, and we've got to turn around and bounce back next week because it's not going to get any easier.